What's up, Wrestle fans? You're listening to the AEW Homecoming and NXT Year-End Awards episode of the Wednesday Night War podcast.
Ready as I'll ever be.
What's up, Warheads? Welcome to, episode, I don't know what this is. I have no idea. It's something. Episode something, because it's not the next episode numbered because they're not head-to-head because NXT decided to put out a boring episode of TV. AEW put on a good show. Well, a show. I don't want to spoil anything.
And that's the end of the episode. See you next week.
Bye, everybody. Listen to Soon to Be Named Network. So I don't know what this is. We'll figure that out later, but it'll be up there. You'll see it. Episode, 13, 14, whatever we're on. I don't even know. Will be the week after when they're finally head-to-head because it's how we planned this thing.
Yeah.
We're talking head-to-heads, so...
And we'll make this special exception this week because, like you said, it was
NXT did.
It was just a clip show.
It was a weird thing. We're going to talk about it, but it was a weird thing. Clip show, award ceremony in an empty arena. It's just weird. Empty arenas are usually a good thing in wrestling.
Not this time.
Not this time. But it's fine. I know what they were doing. They should have done. I get it, getting everybody home to their families for the holidays.
Of course.
I don't fault them for it.
No,
not
at all.
Only a little because it screws up my numbering and makes our feed look confusing. But
how dare they?
You'll figure it out. There's dates on the feed. You'll get there. I have faith in you. I have faith that we have only the smartest listeners.
I agree with that.
If you listen to this show, you're not a dummy.
No.
So
you're a smart person.
Smart, genius, even.
Beautiful.
Not the genius, but a genius.
Also beautiful.
Also very beautiful, handsome, whatever you have.
You're beautiful.
No.
I can't think of a song involving handsome.
I don't know why you have to sing a song at all.
Why? Am I not allowed?
I mean, you can.
It's 2020. This is the year of songs.
What?
Yeah. Well,
who told you that?
Me, myself, and I. Just me, myself, and I.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Don't bury me yet.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Bury me softly.
Off to a really ridiculous
Bury me softly, brother.
So.
Hey, I'm Brett. That's DJ, by the way.
Yep. We're a couple idiots, unlike you fine listeners, and we're going to talk some wrestling.
Speak for yourself. I'm not an idiot.
I mean, I am an idiot. We're going to talk NXT's award show weirdo thing real quick. Then we're going to get through AEW. Pretty normal, what we always do. That's what we're going to do. Then we're going to talk a little AEW news, a little a little Japanese wrestling probably at the end.
Yeah.
So, if that's not your thing, it ties
Listen
back,
anyway, and it should be your thing.
It ties back into everything else, but we're just going to go over a little bit and sort of talk that out because there's going to be a big weekend in wrestling that this show won't normally cover.
is.
But anyway, let's start right off. I don't have anything funny to say. I was thinking of something funny, but I couldn't come up with anything.
Well, now you're putting me on the spot.
I was going to try and bury
either.
somebody from Twitter, but there's nobody to bury. I mean,
that's a good thing.
Well, I was trying to think of a Joey Ryan joke, but it turns out he's just a joke himself. So it writes itself.
But boom.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, that fuck.
That dude. But let's talk NXT. Let's not talk dumb wrestlers. Let's talk NXT. Joey Ryan, if you listen to this, stop listening. So.
Wow.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I want everybody to listen to this show, but I'll make an exception for him. Tag Team of the Year. First thing NXT covered. They had a clip show. Pat McAfee.
That short suit thing that he wears.
Yeah, very weird.
Listen, I like Pat McAfee. Like, he does, like, a pretty good radio show. I actually enjoy him, but that's just weird shit.
Brand Muffin Sam Roberts, I believe is what he called him on the show.
He has all the charisma of a brand muffin, that's for sure.
I don't know the...
Kathy Kelly.
Kathy Kelly, there you go, the lady's name. I'm just bad with names. So, So they did a little thing, little cut-ins, talking about doing some reviews, showing the Match of the Year candidates in recap, which I fast-forwarded through because we watched them.
Yeah.
They were good. I mean, if you hadn't seen some of these matches, go back and watch.
Go watch them for sure.
If you haven't seen Cole Gargano 2 out of 3 falls.
I was there for that.
Go back and watch that. That was great.
Yeah.
But, So, but we're going to go over the awards real quick before we get into the real wrestling here. The first one up was Tag Team of the Year. And I didn't write down all the nominees, but I just wrote down who won. And it went to Fish and O'Reilly.
No surprise.
Which, if I check back on what we had guessed last week,
I think we both had that.
Tag Team of the Year, we both picked Undisputed Era.
Yeah, I think that was pretty cut and dry.
So, pretty cut and dry. Good for them. Certainly deserving of it. No, we didn't go with they had only nominated a handful of people. Like, it wasn't whole roster open. So, we don't line up with all of these. But Male Competitor of the Year was the next one. Adam Cole, Bay.
Again,
Sure.
I get it. Well, I know we had differences, but it makes sense.
I said Roddy, you said Walter, but we were basing that on the 12 weeks since we've been doing the show.
Yeah.
But Adam Cole certainly deserving,
of course.
Female Competitor of the Year, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Because again, we both said Rhea, I believe.
Well, and like you said, it's off the 12 weeks. Yeah. And I think I even said last week, if we were basing the whole year, my overall competitor would have been Shayna.
Of course, yeah. I mean, just dominant. They cut little promos after they got the awards, because you didn't watch it.
No, I didn't even watch it.
So they basically, I'll explain it to you and anybody else who didn't watch it. They would go over the nominees, and then whoever won, the group of three would say who won, and then they would cut the Full Sail, normal setup in the arena, probably done before or after a show. And the entrance music would hit, and they would come out, and Regal was in the ring with the golden ring bell as the award, and then they take that and cut a little promo and walk out. When Fish and O'Reilly won, all of Undisputed Era came out.
Of course.
When Adam Cole won, all of Undisputed Era came out.
As they should.
And, a little back and forth with Regal, whatever. It was weird. It wasn't the best TV. I wish this was a network special instead. And put some wrestling on TV. You could have recorded a bunch of other matches and just thrown them together like you did the week before.
I think Network Special would have probably been more suited for this.
Yeah. I don't know anybody who would want to sit there and watch this kind of stuff. Like, if you want to watch these matches again, you can just watch them on the network.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because, the matches have never been shown on... Were they showing, the full matches?
They were, yeah. They were clipping out some of the beginning.
I was saying, because Cole Gargano, that went almost an hour.
I fast-forwarded through a bunch. They were, clipped up a little bit, but they were showing good chunks.
And you know what? I get that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's only 3 matches nominated, so that's why they did that. But yeah, I mean, I just think it would have worked better. It actually brings the question, are these USA shows available on the network?
I think they make them available next day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they make them available
So
next
any
day.
of these matches you wanted to see, you can go back and watch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, whatever, it was fine. Good for giving these guys a little spotlight and trying to lead somewhere. But anyway, get back to the awards. The one after Female Competitor was Rivalry of the Year, which we didn't vote on because that's weird. But it went to Gargano and Cole.
Makes sense.
So Cole won. That's 3 for Undisputed Era.
Hey.
And, they sort of yelled at each other a little bit. And Gargano said, my only regret is that my 70-something-year-old dad didn't punch you in your face when you went to his restaurant.
Oh, God.
And then Adam Cole's like, I'll punch you in the face right now. And whatever.
And then just nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happened. Yeah. They were in suits. And Adam Cole's like, why don't you be professional, Gargano? And he's like, I am professional. That was weird. I don't know. Whatever. And then next one was Future Star. This is as entertaining of podcasting material as it was a television show. But Future Star of the Year went to Dakota Kai, which was cool.
Yeah.
Good for her. She certainly had a good last couple of weeks. Who did we say for that? I don't even know. I said Rebel Mendoza, and you said Swerve. Went to Dakota Kai. I get it. The best part of the night on this thing for me with her was that when she got into the ring and Regal went to hand her award, they had a little bit of a standoff because she decked him.
I would have liked to have seen that.
War Games. And she just cut a little promo about how she's going to be the biggest thing and whatever. So good for her. She's been really impressive. Then they did Takeover of the Year.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and it was War Games. Chicago.
Makes sense.
Yep.
It was
great.
great.
Sure,
Yeah.
First Women's War Games. I think that really makes it important.
I agree.
Breakout Star of the Year went to Keith Lee.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense.
I said Cameron Grimes. You said Rhea Ripley. Keith Lee came out, did his Keith Lee thing. Thanked everyone. So good for him. Match of the Year was the next one. And that went to Cole Gargano. 2 out of 3 falls.
Of
course it did.
I'll tell you what. That was over WrestleMania weekend, and I had the pleasure of
WrestleMania.
I had the pleasure of being at that takeover with our good friends Chuck and Dez, and I will say that was definitely probably top 3 I've ever felt like electricity in a building before at a wrestling event.
Sure.
That was just like I haven't gone back and watched. I never watched it back.
Okay.
I don't know why. Just never have. I think it's like one of those like I want to hold that part in my head, and that match. I know a lot of people might complain, oh, it was too long. I get it, but I just remember being like all of us looking at each other like, holy shit, like on every falsie, like I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
So totally makes sense.
I mean, great match. They won Rivalry of the Year, all that stuff. Both of those guys had amazing years.
Yeah.
So, and then the last award, Overall Competitor of the Year, Adam Cole. So all of the Undisputed Era came out again. Those dudes won a lot of awards, rightfully so. I mean, they've been dominating that show. I think this year we'll start to see them lose some belts and sort of further those stories. I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think they're going to leave NXT.
No.
I know Triple H said something this week, or maybe it was on the Corey Graves podcast. Who listens to a Corey Graves podcast? Come on. But he said something about, like, if Vince wants Keith Lee, he gets Keith Lee. That's just the way it is.
And, I mean, he doesn't have a say over it. He's not under contract to Trips.
Yeah. But, so, I don't think necessarily, I could see Keith Lee going main roster. The Undisputed Era, I don't think they're really going anywhere. I think they're better suited on NXT. I think that, like you always say, Adam Cole's a little too small. So, him on the main roster with Vince might get a little overshadowed.
I hate you.
I know you do. So I think that the right place for them is on NXT. But a guy like Keith Lee, I think Dijakovic's going to be on main roster relatively soon.
Well, and I look at it this way, too. I think we're about 7 weeks out from the XFL starting. So I don't know how much of Vince's attention is going to go to that now.
Go Battlehawks.
Hell yeah, Battlehawks.
Battlehawks all the way.
I don't know how much of his attention is going to steer away from the product. Yeah. And maybe you're going to have guys like Heyman in charge and Pritchard, and maybe they might say to Trips, hey, what do you feel about,
Paul Heyman gave us that amazing wedding segment on Raw this week.
I still haven't watched it.
I haven't watched Raw in months. I turn it on and that's what's happening.
I haven't. I mean, listen, I love Liv Morgan. I love Rusev.
Sure.
But I haven't watched it. Sorry, spoiler, fuck.
I wish my wife a happy Rusev Day the other night. And she's like, I don't know what that means.
Well, that's because every day is Rusev Day.
Every day is Rusev Day. Anyway. That was it for the award show from NXT.
One thing that they did announce for NXT, though, moving forward. Next week, I believe, starts the Dusty Classic.
Dusty Classic, yes, indeed.
Which, if you're not familiar, it's a tag team tournament. The winners at the end become number 1 contenders for the NXT tag titles. Yeah. So that not only did they release...
Which is interesting, because the tag champs are in the tournament.
Are they?
Undisputed Era.
Oh yeah, they are. Well, son of a bitch. Look at that.
They just get to fight themselves, I guess.
I'd watch, honestly.
One-on-one match, winner gets to be both tag champs.
I am the tag team champions. I like that. So not only did they release the participants, they released the brackets, which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
We'll run through it real quick.
Okay.
First round matchups. Imperium.
Which two are those? Fabian Eichner and
Bartel.
Bartel.
Going up against the Forgotten Sons.
Which ones are those?
Long-haired guy with a beard and the other long-haired guy with a beard.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was asking which names.
Oh.
One of them is Blake, right?
Yeah.
And the other one is not Riker?
Jay Cutler.
Okay. Yeah. Jake Cutler.
I think his name's like...
Smoking cigarettes on the 10-yard line, running the...
I don't know. He's Jay Cutler to me. I don't know who...
That's fine. Yeah. I'm looking at his picture. I just honestly don't know who they are. Like who their names are. But anyway, okay.
Next matchup.
Do we want to make picks? Because Imperium's going to win that one.
Let's hope. Next match, we have the random team of the Broserweights. Matt Riddle.
Is that what they're calling themselves?
I saw Pete Dunne put it out today.
All right. So. I was gonna say, if not, that is copyrighted. You people stay away from that.
I'm not that clever.
Ownership of this show.
So the Broserweights.
I will get litigious.
I will sue.
Touch me and I'll sue.
Sue me for what? Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, the official Broserweights, going up against...
I want them to win so bad now. Oh, that's my dark horse. I want them to win.
Going up against Mark Andrews and something called Flash Morgan Webster.
So it's half NXT UK, half NXT. The one dude dresses like a mod. Looks a little bit like the Mad Mod from Teen Titans if you're a comic book fan.
I remember Mark Andrews from TNA when he went by Mandrews.
All right, great. Of course he did.
Yes.
Perfect. Did he team with Mantar?
Oh, I fucking wish. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, are we going with the Broserweights?
Broserweights. I mean, I'm picking them all the way through now. Good tag team name is all it needs.
Yeah.
That's...
The other side of the bracket we have, which I love the tag team name.
Yep, me too.
The Grizzled Young Vets.
He's a grizzled young vet. He's a grizzled young vet.
I don't know their names.
No idea.
Going up against Kushida and a mystery partner, which, sir, if I had my way, his mystery partner would be Cameron Grimes.
Think they're gonna buddy up? They're gonna be like, all right, listen, we're friends now.
Yep.
Okay.
They'll be like, listen, I respect your hat.
Yeah.
I respect your vest. Let's just
put
bygones be bygones, and let's just do it.
All right, quick on your feet. What would their tag name be? Oh, you failed.
Handsome Japanese hat guys.
All right, weird. Not good. Not as good as Broserweights.
No, well, I mean, shit.
We're not
okay, all right, what's yours?
I have no idea.
Well, then there you go.
I asked you.
Well, I'm not the end-all, be-all.
Well...
That's a good song by Anthrax.
Okay.
Finishing the other side of the bracket, Undisputed Era, going up against Gallus. All right.
Diamond Gallus Page.
Luke Gallus.
I
think the one dude.
Mean Mark Gallus. I think that's what it is. I think it's Mean Mark Gallus.
I'm pretty sure. I hope one of them's named Booger Red.
Oh.
I think the one dude in the tag team, his name's like Wolfie.
Okay.
It's not Wolfie D.
Okay.
But it's like Wolfman or Wolf Boy or something.
All right.
I think that's his name.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
It's going to bug me.
Sure.
Which one it is, I don't know.
All right. They both have facial hair, so it could be either one.
Yes. So I guess that I'm assuming the finals are gonna lead up to like Worlds Collide. I'd assume.
Okay.
So I assume one side of the bracket you're gonna have a UK team, the other side you're gonna have a normal NXT. All right.
So that means the Broserweights.
The Broserweights versus
because if Imperium win, they have to face the Broserweights.
And nobody's beating the Broserweights.
Nobody's beating Broserweights. That's not happening. So maybe Grizzled Young Vets versus Broserweights.
Sure.
I don't know.
I'll take it.
All right.
I guess.
We'll see.
We're not going to have a choice. So, yeah, that starts next week. You being a bigger fan of tag team wrestling, you're going to love this.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have fun with this for sure.
Especially if they give everything enough time. Yeah, it's going to be right up your alley.
How do they do it? They do like a match a night or a couple matches a night? What do they normally do?
Well, I think the brackets, it goes right down to 4, down to 2. So if you think so, you're probably going to have at least 2 matches a week. So I'm guessing
it's only 7 matches.
Well, so I'm guessing 2 next week.
Yeah.
2 the week after.
Are they going to do anything on NXT UK?
No, because NXT UK is taped.
Okay.
So
right.
Yeah, so they wouldn't do that. Okay. So I'm guessing 2 next week, 2 the next week after, both. The following week, like the semifinals matches, and then the finals at Worlds Collide.
All right.
I think that lines up with Royal Rumble, because I think Royal Rumble's like the last Sunday in January.
Okay.
So I think it lines up, because it's Royal Rumble weekend, right?
Yeah.
So
I would assume.
Yeah, so I think that's how it'll go. Either way, I'm pumped, honestly.
Okay.
I love
So do we have a takeover before Rumble? Because there's a takeover on a Sunday.
Well, no, that's a couple weeks after. That's in Portland.
Oh, okay.
It's like a weird standalone one on a Sunday.
Right. Well,
which I don't understand why.
We'll start doing them a bunch. That'll be.
I think it's going to be like the week after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This
show can't handle having
monthly
NXT pay-per-views.
No. That's a big no. I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's NXT because I don't think there was any other news.
The other big thing that Trips that did mention on Corey Graves' Dumb Dumb Stupid podcast is that Sean has pretty much taken over running NXT UK.
Oh man, does that mean I have to start watching it then?
He said that he, has sort of gotten too many responsibilities and hasn't been able to have as much control over NXT UK. So Sean's been going over for the taping. I should have known it was taped because I read this article and they said that they tape every 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And he said Sean's been flying over and basically running the shows over there. So.
Oh, I just don't have the time.
Nope.
I really don't. Mm-hmm. I'd like to. I really would, but I just. Yeah. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time. Considering otherwise, literally my whole life would be wrestling at that point. I love it, but I can't do that. So we're gonna go to the other side of the wall, if you will. AEW.
Side that actually gave us a wrestling show this week.
That is true. This is their homecoming edition.
Season 2, episode 1.
That is true.
All records reset, except for they were still at the bottom.
Except for the rankings stay the same,
and
the overall stays the same. Yeah. But which is
win-loss. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Whatever.
It's pro wrestling. We'll wing it.
We'll see what happens when they start winning.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how they do it, and I figure that's how we'll handle it. Yeah. Right now, I'm not resetting nothing.
Ain't nothing happening here.
But if they reset, then I'll keep track season 1, season 2, and we'll just call them both out every time.
I'm cool with that.
But we'll see what they do next week.
Yeah.
When they have an idea.
Yeah. So
this is
coming live from Jacksonville.
It is. Saxonville.
Oh, fuck that. Jags suck. Anyway, you took Nick Foles from me. JR, Taz, and Excalibur are on commentary. The setup. It was at this cool outdoor amphitheater type spot.
Yeah.
They'd run I think they ran I don't know if it was, or no, they would Fight for the Fall when they ran there.
Okay.
And it's a cool setup.
Yeah.
It's super unique looking.
Yeah. Yep.
I liked it. It made it look a lot different.
Yeah, it did. It made it look full. It wasn't as big as an arena. It was cool, couple layers. There was 2 rows really close to the ring and then more in the back, and the one side was right up to the entrance ramp. It was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. It was unique. I wish they should do more stuff like that. They should be creative with their setups to make their TV look better. To stop people when they take photos of empty seats. Just be creative. Yeah. Figure it out.
You know, and this is not sidetracked, but cool setups. Remember how whenever WWE would run the Garden, how their setup was always that tiny little entrance.
Yeah.
I miss that. You know, I always thought that was real cool.
Yeah, remember when WCW put a wrestling ring in the middle of a swimming pool?
Yeah. Okay. And when Kevin Nash was the 1996 Spring Break Cannonball Champion, if you didn't know that, giant. First matchup we're getting is Darby Allin, who came to the ring with something from a band called Ghost Main, which...
All right.
Going up against Cody.
So I thought Ghost Main was a guy because I've heard of Ghost Main.
It is.
But this said
this
said this was a member of Ghost Main's band.
I guess he has a band now.
Okay.
I don't pay attention. Right. I listened to him once a while ago, and I was like, not for me.
Yeah.
Going up against Cody, who was brought into the ring by the new head coach. Of the Nightmare family.
Yes.
Which I didn't know there's more members, but
sure.
Mr. Double A, the Enforcer.
On and a thin.
That's right.
Not to be confused with our head coach,
Paul Roma. I was also thinking the actual coach that used to come out with Mr. Perfect. And then I was also thinking of Coach the TV show.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of coaches I like.
There's a ton.
I'm about the
big Jonathan Coachman fan you are.
All right, let's run that back.
Exactly.
How good did Double A look in his little vest?
Double A always looks good.
Vest count, there you go.
Yeah, Vest count is a handsome guy. We're gonna get to. I'm bringing something back this season 2 of AEW Dynamite.
All right.
That from our earlier episodes. I'm bringing it back. We're gonna talk about it.
Okay. All right. Let's do that.
Not Vest count.
All right.
But Double A always looks good. It's weird concept.
Yeah, and it was funny because even commentary pointed out, they're yeah, this is the guy who feuded with Cody's dad for literally forever.
Yeah, I don't understand why Cody needs a head coach. Kind of weird. Kind of weird that Cody is a guy who feels as established as he is and is as established as he is to a point. Needs a guy to tell him on the side of the ring when to put his knees up. But all right, I mean, you put Double A on TV. That's good. I mean, I'm more than happy about it.
It's weird because it's that's like a heel tactic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, heels and faces don't matter. Cody always says that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Cody got the win over Darby. This was a hell of a way to kick off your show.
They have really good chemistry.
They do.
Yeah.
Because it's like Darby's small enough where Cody can kind of work like a big man.
Yeah.
But he does, but he still gets his like athletic shit in. You know what I mean? Darby, I don't know what it is about that guy. Like, it's just like, it screams like I don't know. It's like star.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just screams like, I want to see this guy.
And so that's my problem at the end of this match. So I really like this match. I have complaints, but it was good. It was cool. Very early on watching this match, I was like, that might end up being match of the night, because I don't know if they're going to get any better than this, especially with the weeks they've been going, right? And like the top rope code red during commercial break.
I was gonna bring that up too.
Nonsense.
Like even when they were going to commercial, I'm like, guys, this is like a real high point in the match.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like drama building.
So,
why are we doing this?
One, top rope code red should be a finish.
It should.
Come on.
Yeah.
And two, don't do it a commercial break. It was just out of place. So the whole match, as much as I liked it, and as cool as it looks, like I don't get it. I especially don't get it later when we get a million more of them or variations on them. But the thing is, you said, it makes you want to see more of Darby, and we hadn't seen Darby in a while, right? So Darby had this match against Cody. It was super talked about. Match with Jericho was really good. Was here and there on some other things. Disappeared for a little bit.
The match with Moxley.
Disappeared a little bit. Came back and said, Cody, I'll help you beat the Butcher and the Blade if I get my match. And then they bury the Butcher and the Blade. With varying opinions on that, but for the sake of this show, they bury Butcher and Blade. Darby wins. Darby gets his match against Cody. And then Darby puts out like this really dark video about Cody. And it's like, all right, but you just teamed with him to get this match.
I thought the same thing.
And then, whatever it is, that's fine. A little bit of their creative going a little wild again. And then Darby loses. So what's the point? Like, at this point, two of his most memorable things, like, he's known in AEW for being this rising talent, this guy people really like to see, who just loses to Cody. What's the point from a storyline standpoint, from a putting people over and building people standpoint? What's the point in having this guy, season 1 open up, and then season 2 open up, losing to Cody? It doesn't make any sense. And you can't have Cody lose right now because he's in all these other storylines. So if he loses to somebody, then it pushes him off to the side too. But like, I don't know where this leaves Darby, someone who they're clearly high on, who's a very talented wrestler, and they've sacrificed him to Cody twice. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think, and I don't want to play like Monday morning quarterback here, but I mean, probably what I would have done. Hold off the Arn thing until next week.
Yeah.
I would have probably had Darby beat Cody, get his win, and then Cody, kind of like, I don't know where to go from here. I need something. I need someone.
Yeah.
There's Arn.
Yep.
And
it makes much more sense. Like, the biggest thing is, like, I know what this match does for Cody. I know where this sends Cody.
Oh, of course. It's like, hey, he's got that extra element now with Arn.
What does this do for Darby? Nothing.
And I agree.
It takes this guy that you could say you're high on a guy all you want. You could do all the backstage stuff and all the videos and say how much you like this kid, but you got to show it.
Yeah.
That you want to do something with him. And they're not. He's having good matches, but if you don't win, it becomes a problem. And so that was my biggest complaint with it. As much as I liked the match, I would have liked it so much more to see Darby.
It makes me wonder at some point of this year if they might try to add a secondary title.
Yeah.
I think Darby would be good with a secondary title.
See, I think they'd give it to Cody. Because Cody can't challenge for the main belt.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think, unfortunately, and I didn't always feel this
There's
way.
a lot of different ways we can go.
Yeah, but I think that, Cody is going to stay in a place where he's always winning.
Yeah, and I know there was a lot of talk this week, through with a lot of people like, oh, they, people were going to complain about the elite positions themselves to win, and now they've kind of like buried themselves to put everybody over, but now like, do they need to get back to putting themselves over?
Yeah.
It's always going to be that seesaw. I don't know if you're ever going to find a happy medium,
Yeah, I don't know.
And I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll let it play out.
Sure.
SCU cut a promo about Dark Order, calling them spooky perverts. Mm-hmm. After the whole shit from the last AEW, I don't want to see Dark Order ever.
Well, and also, that's the other thing. They ended this show, the last show of 2019 with Dark Order, and then they're not heard from really again.
No. Sammy comes out, makes fun of Christopher Daniels for being old. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna
welcome to 2004.
Yeah. So they're gonna have a match next week. In the meantime, though, next matchup was for four-way for the women's championship, which originally
because Statlander was double booked. This is
Statlander. Was it bar wrestling?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was bar or beyond.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but she was double booked.
Yeah.
So
couldn't have been Beyond. Beyond runs Thursdays.
That's true. Shit. I mean, shit happens. I mean,
sure.
You know,
I mean, it really should be on the larger company to sort of manage that stuff out.
And
Good for them not pulling her. They could have easily pulled her and screwed that company.
Yeah. Well, and it's like the old time-honored thing with Vince is, you know, fulfill your dates.
Yeah.
Make sure you fulfill your dates.
Yeah. But they should have known better. Should have planned better for that.
I agree.
But we got a four-way out of it.
Yeah. Riho against Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, and Hikaru Shida.
Yes.
So only went like 10 minutes.
I liked it.
Oh, I did too. I thought it was a lot of fun. Riho got the win.
Yes.
Cradled Britt at the end for the surprise win, which it's like, you know what? That's what a finish like that, I'm more than happy.
I love surprise wins.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely one of the best AEW women's matches so far.
And I mean, it's no surprise. I think Rio loses next week. The only way she doesn't is if they continue this Brandy story with messing with Statlander. I really don't see that happening. Rio hasn't been around. They did that promo with her later where you couldn't hear her and she needed a translator, which is fine. I don't care. You know, I'm not like, oh, she can't speak English. She shouldn't be a champion. That's not how I feel about anything at all.
No.
It was just, I don't know. I don't get it. Riho doesn't. I just don't get it. So
yeah, well, after the match, Nyla beat the shit out of Riho.
Well, Nyla was murdering people in this match. She crushed Shida with that senton through the table.
Well, didn't Shida hit like a sick Falcon arrow
she
too?
Did, yeah. Like, and it was like as close to a 3 count as you can get. Like it popped me. I jumped up because that's why I want them to pull the trigger on. I want Shida to be that champion. Yeah, she's been consistent. She's very good. She's on the shows.
It's been my big fear though. This is like she's gonna get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
it's just gonna happen.
She did look good. The Falcon arrow was great.
Yeah.
But
I
mean, Britt Baker remains the worst. So
it's not even
close.
It's funny seeing her in the ring with these three. It's just like you are just so lost. Light years behind. Yeah. Nyla put Rio through a table after the match. Whatever. Joey Janela is about to be interviewed when all of a sudden he gets an awkward pain and the camera pans down and it's just Penelope Ford with the low blow. Kip Sabian comes and whatever.
So we're moving on from Joey.
I guess so.
The chairman, Sean Spears.
I think now Sean Spears' goal is like totally to find him a tag team partner.
Okay.
So I think we're moving on from that.
Well,
we're moving into Janela Sabian.
Sean Spears was bitten by a radioactive chair. It has the proportionate strength of a chair.
This furthered a little bit on Twitter today.
That's what I love about my wrestling. If you can put a half-assed thing on TV and finish it off on Twitter.
Well, it was just real weird because like Janela and Penelope Ford, like they used to be together in real life. You know, they broke up. Whatever, none of my business. And then there was like
that's why she's the bad girl and he's the bad boy.
Yeah. Well, there was like some weird like back and forth where like I don't know. He was talking bad and about like a low blow. She's like, I'm surprised I could even feel your, you know. And then he's
hilarious.
Yeah. And then he responded with, like that's the only reason why you got a contract in the first place. And then Sabian said something about like, her hands are full. Like he tweeted from Penelope's thing saying,
my God,
her hands are full and so is her mouth or something.
Really?
Yeah. It was just. It's
all right. Well,
it's weird, so we'll see how that develops. Sure. I like both those guys, so
yeah. I mean, Kip's been pretty good. Joey has gotten better in the last couple of weeks. I'm glad he's away from the chairman.
Yeah,
well, we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
Joey's got to get himself a valet now, though. Who could it be?
I don't know. I have no.
All right.
What's Jacqueline up to?
Oh wow. Other than occupying my headspace for the past 15 years? No, longer than that. Jeez.
Very true.
15 years, I was only 20, and that was not a 20-year-old doing those things.
We're getting into weird shit. We got a Dark Order video package telling the Exalted One that the Elite has fallen. But
they didn't.
Yeah.
Because they literally main event this show with no mention of the Dark Order whatsoever.
Yeah, the less the better. Next up, you have Trent.
Yes.
Led to the ring by Chucky T and the man.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy.
I'm starting to feel bad for these guys because they come out and then they get like this huge pop and then they turn around and they realize it's right. It's just
so
when Orange Cassidy's walked out.
Going up against the goddamn lunatic that is Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
It was another thing where, like, I kind of described, like, when he came out, it was like, again, you just get that, like, the crowd gets a different feeling.
Yeah, for
sure. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it's just me, but, like, I don't know. The crowd is, like, it's, like, on edge, pretty much, when he comes out. Because, like, I feel like we're seeing something special, you know? Moxley beat Trent.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
I loved it. I was excited for this match because I think Trent is really good.
Yeah.
Proves how good he is. My worry is always he's going to be so good that they stop having the best friends.
Well, look at how many singles matches he's gotten.
I know.
He's gotten. I mean, the dude could work, you know?
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
He's great.
So, and JR, Trent no longer Beretta. Chucky, don't call me Converse Taylor. But I liked it a lot. Little OC Mox.
Oh, man.
Mox trying to steal OC's gimmick with the hands
Please
in the pocket.
give me that.
Give me OC Mox all the way.
That was electric.
Taz saying OC stole his gimmick.
That was great.
Yep.
You know what? I will say this. Taz sounded good on commentary.
You know, he did.
Yeah.
Him and Excalibur both did a lot of apologizing to JR for stepping on his lines. And I'm wondering if JR caused some sort of stink and is trying to blame other people for him messing up.
It's funny you said that because there was like a clip that came out on Twitter today of like the live, like I guess like maybe it's the fight feed or whatever. And JR like says something. He's like, when the graphics come up, you don't say their fucking names.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We'll listen to it after we're done recording. Yeah. And I was like, So maybe that correlates with that.
Yeah.
But.
So, and I have the next match, I'll get some JR talk.
Okay.
But, no, like the match, Trent has got this reputation of coming out, and not that Mox needed it, but Trent makes the people he wrestles look better. He's a talented dude for sure.
They were hitting hard.
They were.
Which I'm like... Yeah. Kind of surprised Mox was going this hard because he has a big obligation on Saturday.
You got to hop a plane.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the one thing about Mox, and I hope we see it at New Japan this weekend, not a fan of him just wearing like regular pants again.
Yeah.
I like him in the tights, and I think he's doing it because he's, when he came back from injury, he was a little more cut, and he's still in phenomenal shape.
God, yeah.
But he's sliding back down a little bit, not hitting the gym as much. I get it. He doesn't need to. He still looks really good.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe the tights he's in now, don't look as good. Maybe he's a little self-conscious. I have no idea. But I don't like him in regular pants. I want him in tights being a killer. Hardcore match, wear your pants.
Yeah, I agree.
But
wrestling match, wear yeah. I'm with you. So afterwards, Sammy Guevara comes out. Yeah. He was stealing drinks and food from the fans, which I liked. Jericho promo video for Moxley basically saying, he will give him 49% of Inner Circle LLC.
Make him an EVP.
Oh, yeah, which is worth about fucking 5-cent cup of coffee to me.
I'll tell you what, man. Sammy's good on the mic.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, that's like the first time I really heard him like talk like that. He was pretty good. And also a new car worth millions of dollars.
Sure.
Yeah.
GT.
Well, and the thing to top it off, the Mox custom Florida plate.
Yeah, because everyone knows
need that shit.
That when you have a custom license plate, it only makes you cooler.
Yes.
Shout out April Sposto.
So, the end, Moxley gets the mic.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, I'm going to be honest, like Chris Jericho is a mentor of mine. He's a friend of mine. And I'll have my answer for him next week in person.
Yeah.
What it's going to lead to, I think we all know. But I thought it was like kind of cool just to leave that little seed of doubt.
Yeah.
Because that's true. I mean, it's truthful. Like his big podcast with Jericho, and when he left WWE, it was fucking massive, you know?
Of course.
And that is true.
Like, both have Wrestle Kingdom obligations.
Yeah, and they're both very good friends. Yeah. Like real life, like that's the reason why Moxley came to AEW was because of Jericho. You know.
I wonder if they'll pay anything off at New Japan since they're both, or are they wrestling on the same night? I don't even know.
I don't know, but we'll talk about that.
Right.
This leads into Sammy Guevara going up against the natural Dustin Rhodes.
If there's been an appropriate wrestling nickname, that is the one.
Yes. Sammy got the win due to some shenanigans.
Chicanery.
From waste of a contract, Jake Hager.
Yep.
Literally, like, what's he going to, like, he's just collecting a check.
Can he wrestle because of his Bellator contract?
I don't see why not. Bellator dudes used to wrestle in TNA.
Oh, yeah, that's true. King Mo.
Yeah. Rampage. Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. That dude's just...
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's one of those, hey, sign my friend.
I mean, I think they know that if they put him in the ring, it'll be exposed because he was never that talented.
And, I mean, when's the last time he actually, like, worked a match? I don't even know. I know he was on Lucha Underground, but that's forever ago now. So, I don't know. But, yeah, Dustin, my God.
Yeah. So, here's the thing about Dustin that I wanted to talk about. That he does so many things better than most people. His work and punches have been well covered, especially after the shenanigans from the other week. The dude is just, he's good at what he does, and obviously he has the experience, right? You were telling me it's how long? How many decades or whatever?
He is now, once he wrestled last night, he has wrestled in 5 different decades.
So that's crazy. The thing that he does that people, and I don't want to necessarily shit on them, and I will later anyway, but like the difference between him and the Young Bucks, when Dustin is in a position, he makes sure, needs to be somewhere in the wrestling match. He gets there, and he expects his opponent to be there.
Yeah.
He doesn't look to make sure you're in your spot. He is in his spot doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's your responsibility to do it. When you watch some of these other guys, the Young Bucks, a lot, even Lucha Brothers do it. A lot of the guys, and again, they're working a much faster style than Dustin is.
There's a lot more dangerous stuff.
Yes, but this is the stuff I'm talking about specifically. Is outside the ring. Him and Hager had the little stare off, and Sammy drop kicks him through the ring. He didn't look to make sure where Sammy was running was where he was lined up.
Yeah.
He stood where he was supposed to be and expected the dude to hit him. So it looks that much better because he's not looking around. So you can't expose the business and be like, oh, he's looking to make sure this guy's not coming or he is coming or whatever it is. He's where he needs to be, and he knows if I'm in the ring with you, you need to be good enough to hang and be where you're supposed to be. And I love that. I love watching him wrestle. And then, of course, he does a destroyer on the apron.
Yeah.
Which was insane. And like I said earlier, I was going to bring something back from earlier in our season. P.D. Williams is owed some money.
He certainly is.
He certainly is in a couple matches.
Yeah.
From here.
I feel like if you're going to do destroyers, it should be a 1 minimum per show.
Yes. So here's the other thing I want to talk about in this match. This is my JR problem.
Okay.
Dustin goes to do the spine buster. And Sammy jumps a little too high and turns a little too early, and it lands awkwardly. And JR's like, by God, don't they know Arn Anderson's in the back?
Oh, Jesus. I didn't even hear it.
And he's like, he buries it. He's like, don't they know that Arn Anderson's an employee of this company and this and that? And Taz tries to unbury it. And Taz's like, oh, no, he still got him. He just, Sammy went a little too high, but Dustin caught him anyway and corrected it. And JR's like,
like you should.
And JR's like, you think they'd know better. And I'm just like,
boy.
Oh, my God. Like, stop burying the product.
Yeah, shit doesn't change just because it's a new year.
And Taz used to do it, too. Taz, when he was on the E, used to
call
out botches.
He definitely did.
That.
Yeah, I do
botches happen. You just...
supposed to just talk it through it.
Go right through it. Don't stop and point it out. It doesn't make anyone better.
Yeah.
Don't address it. It kills me. And something like that was noticeable, but it wasn't. It's still a spine buster. He just landed a little weird. And that's what bothers me about JR is that he's still actively burying this product.
He still doesn't want to be there.
No,
he's just collecting.
Which is a shame because this was a good wrestling show.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
We'll talk more at the end, but I enjoyed the shit out of this wrestling show, and JR's there to bury the product, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
So they should move JR. bring Shivani back and do Shivani and Taz.
Yeah, Shivani, Taz, Excalibur, I think works a lot better.
Maybe Shivani doesn't want to do it because him and JR are such friends.
And, Shivani, he has his other obligations that he has to do. Obviously, this is like the third one Dynamite he's missed so far, I think.
I get that.
That's fine. You have your other
he
obligations.
Was so out of the business.
Yeah.
But Taz...
Taz was honestly like a breath of fresh air last night. He really was. Sure. Next up, we have a little interview in the back, something with Private Party, and Hangman Page shows up behind their bar.
Yeah.
If we're just going to get, like, Scott Hall-esque Hangman Page drunk on television, sign me up.
Sure.
Especially because he said he'll whoop both their asses.
How did Hangman get past their security?
I don't fucking know.
It's weird.
I don't know, because that club there was real full, a.k.a. no one was there.
Yep.
Next up, MJF and the Wardlow arrive. One of the things I liked on the way down, MJF went and kissed a female fan.
Yep.
And basically, said, afterwards on Twitter, satisfying the rats.
He made somebody kiss the ring, too.
Yeah, well, and then somebody, patted MJF, and then the same fan, patted Wardlow. And it was, a different angle on Twitter. Wardlow turned around and said, "Don't you ever fucking touch me."
Yeah, all right.
So I'm like, all right, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Basically gives the stipulations for Cody. It's going to take place at Revolution. It's but the famous, Sid versus Goldberg, Sid, you can't touch me, or you lose your opportunity.
This confused the shit out of me because I wasn't at the end of this. MJF kept talking about how nobody understands him. Everyone in Jacksonville's stupid.
It wasn't a very good promo.
No. And then at the end, I was like, wait, what are the stipulations? I'm like, is it him and Cody in a cage? What are these lashes? When does that come in? And then afterwards, I read somebody put a graphic up on Twitter, and it's can't touch him. He has to come out and get 10 lashes publicly. He also has to wrestle Wardlow in a cage to wrestle. And I'm like,
which I don't know if that's needed. Wardlow hasn't had a match yet.
Well, Wardlow hasn't had a match, and you're gonna in the middle of a feud, not even you being involved in the cage match in the feud. That's bad wrestling. That doesn't make any sense. Feuds, cages end feuds.
Yeah,
cages they're not middle feuds.
I think it's more so you're trapped in here with Wardlow,
sure.
And it's gonna be one of those. I'm not gonna try to make sense of it.
But again, Cody's just gonna easily walk over Wardlow,
maybe
take his lashes.
Oh God,
which is a weird thing.
That's a weird. Yeah, it's a
weird erotic.
Why
fantasy.
Is that one of the steps?
Very weird. But whatever. If he whips him with a weight belt, maybe he'll spray paint NWO on his back afterwards. And then he gets whatever. I mean, that's. Oh, and then they've already announced. Oh, they're like, at the pay-per-view, it's going to happen. I'm like, we don't know that yet. He doesn't have his matches.
Yeah,
don't tell us it's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't know if it's going to happen. What if he touches MJF before? It's not happening.
He didn't get whipped, nor did he wrestle Wardlow yet. But anyway, cage match.
Yeah,
that's happening. We'll see what Wardlow can do. We've been waiting a long time. My guess is going to be not much.
The stipulations, none of it were. I was like,
maybe Cody will come down.
Nothing
with
excited
those
me.
Guys that stabbed Wardlow in that video.
When he had the open wound on his back, and nobody ever talked about that ever again.
Yeah,
which I feel like there's other things in this company that nobody should ever talk about ever again. Brady Rhodes.
Yeah, you can't have an open wound on your back in AEW because Kenny Omega already had the best open wounds.
That's true. Yeah. Matt, they still no scars on that guy.
No, he's got a good.
Docs.
He healed right up.
Yeah,
he's good.
Jungle Boy commented on his match with Jericho from 2 weeks ago. Basically said big win for Jurassic Express.
Did he say that? Because I could not hear them.
Well, yeah.
Production issues.
They also got cut off by music as a drunk Adam Page joins commentary wearing his cowboy shirt. I'm like, all right, if you're going to go this route with Adam Page, right? I'm more open to it than cowboy shit Adam Page. So I hope there's a little more. Next week, they announce it's going to be a Memphis Legends tribute.
Yeah.
So your favorite wrestler of all time, Jerry Lawler, will be in the house.
No, he won't.
I know he won't, but in my heart...
He's a liability to WWE. He won't be on AEW.
He's a liability to a lot else.
I don't know who they're going to be able to roll out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe, Terry, could they... if they bring Terry... not necessarily known as a Memphis legend, but did have some of his best stuff in
there
Memphis.
There is a statistic, real quick, that I would like to mention before this match. So, granted, we're only 2 days into the year.
Sure.
all of my wrestling so far has consisted of matches featuring either Terry Funk or Jushin Thunder Liger.
Which is the way it should be.
God, I love Terry Funk.
If only we can go back in time and get Terry Funk versus Jushin Thunder Liger.
I know what I'm making happen on Fire Pro. Next week, women's title, Riho versus Statlander. The Rhodes Brothers against the Lucha Brothers.
That's cool. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Sammy versus Christopher Daniels.
It should be good. Sammy looked good this week. So.
Yeah. Private Party against Omega and Paige.
Yeah, and Paige did the thing.
Well, I liked...
Well, that's at the end. It's after the next match.
Well, but he commented on it like during it. He goes, "Oh, I didn't know that was happening."
Yeah.
Like, news to me.
Yeah.
And then Moxley and Jericho confrontation.
Yeah.
Riho tries to comment on her title defense.
Production issues again.
Next week, you couldn't hear shit.
Yeah.
And then Britt Baker arrives and,
Yep, and was
how dare you
Yeah.
pin me in a match that we were both in and it was totally legal.
Yeah.
And
Yep. And
I'm here every week and I run a dental
I'm a dentist
practice.
on the
Because
side,
if you didn't know that, I'm a dentist.
Yeah, in case I didn't notice,
You're not here and I'm the face of the division. And
I'm a dentist.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
And I'm a dentist.
Oh, that's what we're getting now. Heel Britt Baker.
Yep.
Cool. Main event time.
Yep.
Lucha Brothers and the Bastard Pack going up against the Bucks and Omega.
This is like a little road to PAC's rubber match.
Oh, the rubber.
He wants his rubber match. Give me my rubber match.
What the
rubber. Rubber match. Give me it. Rubber match.
It's so weird.
I want my rubber match.
What the fuck, man? But no surprise, the Elite won.
Yeah.
They beat Lucha Brothers. The Pack, like, they were kind of building up like the Elite needs to come together and there's superpowers. God damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they won. All right, the match.
Yeah.
Stop doing Canadian Destroyers as transition
There's
spots.
3 in a row.
There was fucking 3 in a row.
They did 1, and then they both did it stereo.
3 in a row.
Yep.
Stop it. God damn it.
The move's dead. Everybody does. It's just, it's over. And like, of course I'm biased because I popped when Dustin did it. So, I'm a wrestling
that was
fan.
Your one.
I'm biased.
Like, there was your one.
Man, too many. Now,
it's enough.
Now, the Young Bucks arsenal now is 3 Canadian Destroyers in a row and then 4 super kicks in a row. They're just a mess.
Yeah.
My bigger problem with this match is the Young Bucks doing the thing they do in the beginning where they move for move against the Lucha Brothers. It just exposes the Bucks as not being as smooth as the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
I didn't particularly like the segment. I thought it was a little choppy anyway. I think Ray Phoenix wasn't as good as he has looked, which is fine. You can have off days. He still looked fine. But doing it just like, and maybe when the Bucks do it against someone who aren't as good as them, it's like, oh, that looks good. But doing like move for move against Ray Phoenix makes whatever Jackson that was, the balding one. I don't know. I don't know their names.
The bald one.
It just exposes them as not having the smoothness to really pull that kind of thing off.
Yeah.
At least not as well as Ray Phoenix can. And nobody can. It's not really a day. Ray Phoenix is one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, again, my anti-Young Bucks sort of mentality pushes me in that direction.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that was the end. The match finished, and
I want to talk about that finish.
Okay.
So Kenny wins with the one-winged angel.
Yes.
Which I think was a mistake. I don't think they should have done that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that knee that he hit
brutal.
Ray Phoenix with was so good.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Phoenix did something off the top, the flippy thing, I don't know what the move's called, and Kenny managed to give him a knee in the head as he was coming down. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfectly timed. It looked really good. And then he does all this stuff and then puts him up on the shoulders and hits him with the one-wing angel. I get it. Get your shit in. But you didn't need to. Like, that knee looks so good, and it's so out of nowhere and clearly knocked him out that, like, didn't actually knock him out, but, like, you could believe that it would have.
Yeah.
Pin him. And just end it from there, So that, again, it's a minor complaint. It's fine. I get it. You want to, you think wrestling's a video game. You want to get your finish in. But man, and again, I'm also a guy who is sort of partial to schoolboys and roll-ups as finishes anyway. But yeah, I just kind of wish that was how they ended it, because the knee did look really good.
Yeah, and it did. I mean, I get why they're doing it, like to put that move over again because nobody kicks out of it.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody ever has.
No, I don't know.
Especially not in AEW.
No, I think Ibushi did, though.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to go. I'll have to go back and watch, which I probably will. At the end, Elite celebrating in the ring. Cody comes out, and they want Paige to come in, but Paige says no. Yep. He just stands on the stage and just no. Which I know it's like the slow turn for him. It'll probably happen.
Yeah.
I just hope that we get drunk Adam Page every week, because that's an Adam Page I can get behind.
Sure. Give him some chewing tobacco.
Yeah, spitting all over the camera.
I'm cool with that.
So that was Dynamite.
It was.
What was your match of the night?
I didn't pick one. I was waiting because I usually, when we talk this out, I usually like get hyped up again. And I feel like I do. Man. And again, I want to say this before I pick a match. I thought this was a really good wrestling show. I think if NXT had put on a show, it would have been hard for them to match it. I think it was a really high caliber show, even with some of the minor technical issues with the promos. They had their stories in line. They told some stories. Whether I liked them or not, that doesn't matter. I don't have to like everything in wrestling. I don't think I've ever liked everything that they were doing in wrestling.
Yeah.
But I think the storylines were moved forward. I actually am pretty hopeful if they can put out this caliber of show for from here on out. Like, that's good for them. I hope that maybe they realize the honeymoon's over and they're sort of getting used to it. This phase is done, and now with season 2, they're really going to start crushing it. I seriously loved this show. Felt like maybe one of the first AEW shows that really felt like an old Nitro to me. Like, it just almost everything mattered. It was only 5 matches. Usually they're around like 6. Promos were in there, and the matches had storylines. So I really dug this show. And it makes it harder for me to pick match of the night because I liked every match. I have a little nitpick about every match, but I liked every match. But I'm going to say Cody Darby.
Okay.
I think those guys have really good chemistry. Even though I don't like where they're doing with Darby, it was still a good match. The coffin drop is cool. The dude's got a cool look, good personality. I like the stuff they do. I thought Cody looked good. Cody looked enthusiastic, more enthusiastic than he normally did. And Cody is a good, not great wrestler. He can do the things he needs to do.
That's how he earned the nickname, the 3-star general.
Yeah, I don't consider that a fault.
No.
He's just a guy who can go out there and put on good matches. He doesn't, he's not going to give you a 5-star, but most of the time, isn't going to give you a bad match either. He does his stuff. His stuff looks good. It's just not, he is a solid professional wrestler. And I think it's something about Darby, and you said it before, he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
As much as I wanted to pick Trent Mox because those dudes laid it in. And I really have the least problem with that match, like storyline wise. I don't know. I like watching Darby and him and Cody together.
Yeah, it was a killer match for sure. My friend, and you just said it. Going with Moxley and Trent.
Yeah, I figured that.
It was just hard hitting.
Yeah,
it was just fast, and they were just laying it in. The Mox interaction with OC gave me high hopes for the future. Again, I think Moxley needs to be the focal point of this company moving forward.
I think he will be.
He absolutely needs to be. I loved it. And again, Trent, like you said, he makes everyone look that much better.
He does, and like Mox is a guy who doesn't need it, but
he ends up looking even
Trent's
better.
a very good wrestler.
Yeah, so that was definitely my match of the night. But overall, I thought the show was a lot of fun.
I really liked it.
Good start to the year.
Yeah.
I hope we cut back on some of the bullshit that happened at the end of the year.
Didn't get a Brady promo.
Thank God. The setup for the arena, again, can't overstate how nice it looked. It was very unique looking. I mean, let's Let's keep the momentum going. I really hope they do.
Keep it up like this. Like it felt like a Nitro from the look. Like Nitro would do those. We talked about earlier. Would do those cool setups for the fans.
Yeah,
fun events. It was Homecoming, so it was special.
Yeah.
And I hope they carry that kind of stuff over because it just looked like a cooler wrestling show.
It did. It looked different. That's the first thing that caught my eye as soon as it was on. I'm like, oh, this is different.
So, I liked it. It felt like the kind of wrestling. It was the kind of wrestling that I like.
Yeah.
I was excited for it.
Well, speaking of wrestling that I like, this weekend, sir. No.
Impact.
No. Every time it's like driving a knife into me when I think of what Ring of Honor is now.
Master P in the House of Glory.
I mean, I'll watch.
Okay.
Hood Slam. This weekend, my friend.
Okay.
We have not one but two nights of Wrestle Kingdom.
We do.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
It's true.
This is my type of wrestling.
Okay. Mine too.
Yours as well. This is I don't sleep well anyway the way it is, but when it's on, this is I usually step into the wee hours of the morning watching this.
Sure.
The reason why I bring it up, number one, obviously you can't ignore it. It's personally my favorite event of the year every year. It really is. Yeah. I look forward to this way more than WrestleMania nowadays.
I also understand. So me personally, been a Japanese wrestling fan way back as tape trader in high school, did all that kind of stuff. But I understand that not everyone likes Japanese wrestling necessarily or follows it or has the time to follow it.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But there is a reason why we're talking about it.
There's a reason why we're talking about it. So this week, there was a little bit of a tease. In the lead up to night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom, it's going to be Hiroshi Tanahashi, the Ace.
The best hair in wrestling.
Damn right. Honorary member of the Rock and Roll Express.
It's true.
Tanahashi man. Going up again.
Play guitar with Tanahashi man.
Going up against AEW World Heavyweight Champion, the Painmaker. Chris Jericho. So, in the lead up to this, Tanahashi has said some things. If I beat Chris Jericho, maybe I will open the forbidden door.
Okay.
And challenge him for the title that he holds.
Did Tanahashi open that?
Tanahashi did.
I thought Jericho offered that.
No. Tanahashi opened that.
Okay.
This week, Jericho put out a video, getting on his private jet, saying, Tanahashi, I have talked to Tony Khan. If you beat me, you will get a future shot at the AEW World title.
There you go.
It was promoted by AEW. I'm a little upset they didn't say anything about it last night. A little upset. But again, I don't know because I don't think there's a working relationship yet, so you don't want to give them free press.
Yeah.
And then New Japan acknowledged, hey, this is what Chris Jericho said about the AEW belt. This will be interesting going forward.
So something just popped in my brain.
Oh,
right there. The way you said that, and the light bulb went off.
Okay.
Okay.
I saw you perk up. I'm like, what's going on?
So, John Moxley is also there. He's also on Wrestle Kingdom, wrestling Lance Archer for the U.S. belt, which Moxley used to have.
Never lost.
He just abandoned because of a little wind.
And a Texas Death Match.
Texas Death Match. If you don't know what Texas Death Match is, look up the Dory Funk promo explaining Texas Death Match.
He breaks it down.
Because it's great.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. What just popped into my brain was that Jericho says, if you beat me, you get a future shot at the AWA.
Whoa.
The AEW Championship.
Easy there, Vern.
So, mind grapes here. Let me think.
Okay.
At the pay-per-view coming up for AEW, Moxley's winning that belt.
In my mind.
So, I don't, for the life of me, see Chris Jericho beating Tanahashi.
I don't
see it.
Oh, yeah,
I see Tana winning, cashing in that title shot when Mox is champ. And the title shot is in Japan. Mox goes back over as AEW champion.
Stop, I'm getting real excited
and they do Mox Tana. Because as good as Jericho actually ends up being in these Japanese matches, he's been doing some good stuff over there.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of draw to him wrestling a guy twice. That's not what he's been doing.
No.
Except for Omega.
Yeah.
But Tana beats Jericho, and then they don't say anything about a working relationship. We don't know anything. Mox wins the championship, and we already know he's going back and forth to New Japan anyway. Tana Mox.
I love that idea personally, just because it's more satisfying for me.
Yes.
But I think in the United... Oh, man, I don't know.
Because the only other option is then Tana coming to AEW and wrestling Jericho.
But oh man, see, this is where I don't know how long Jericho's going to have the belt.
Yes, and AEW didn't mention anything about Tanahashi on the show.
Didn't mention a word.
And that's the thing, like...
Didn't even mention anything about Moxley going over either.
Exactly, and I said, earlier, not everybody likes Japanese wrestling. Most American fans don't.
Yeah.
I think New Japan has 40,000 subscribers. They don't have American TV anymore.
Well, we'll talk about that real quick too.
So Tana coming over, wrestling on AEW, might not put any asses in seats. But Moxley going over there, going back to Japan as AEW champion, and Mox will beat Tana, no problem.
So there's going to be a lot of things I think that need to fall in place for that to happen. Mm-hmm. Because if you paid attention this week, the home for New Japan Pro Wrestling on American television the last few years has been Access TV. Mm-hmm. Anthem, the company that owns Impact Wrestling, recently bought Access TV. Came out this week that New Japan will, in 2020, will no longer be airing any United States shows on Access TV.
Yeah.
The report came out today that Anthem kind of gave them the ultimatum of either you work with Impact and that start a working relationship, or you're off television. New Japan hates Impact. For years ago, the way that they treated Okada on his excursion. Mm-hmm. Hates them. So they said, no, well, that's fine. We'll go off of American television then.
Goodbye.
And that's where this kind of ties back, where there's also another report of there's nothing set in stone, nothing announced, but I feel like the ice is thawed a little bit, and there may be talks of a working relationship with New Japan and AEW. Yeah. Which I think benefits both parties to no end.
The only thing that concerns me is that, AEW has done such a poor job of incorporating our boy Lindemann.
That is true.
And the
strong hearts. OW, but I think there's like a thing where OW something happened with ownership changed or something. Really? There's something. I don't know exactly, but I know something did happen.
That was one of the big draws for me from AEW was we were going to see Shima and stuff. Yeah, Shima's a legend.
Really. Honorary member of SCU, Shima.
Yeah. And we haven't really got a ton of them, which is a shame.
No.
It's supposed to bolster their roster and meet all these people, and we only got... frankly, in 12-plus weeks, we only got 2 Lindemann matches. Get the fuck out of here.
I think that it definitely helps both if this happens. Yeah. So I could see, like, the whole Tana Moxley in Japan, but at the same time, it's like, okay, what's AEW getting out of it?
Yeah.
Because you want a big match on your program too, and on your pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And you need that. So I like what you're saying, but I think a lot of pieces need to fit before something like that could ever happen.
Yes.
We'll see what happens obviously this weekend on Wrestle Kingdom. Jericho Tana is on Sunday. That's night 2. Mox is night 1 against Archer.
Yeah. And we'll probably cover them here. At least the Jericho one, because the title's on the line. We don't want this to be a New Japan podcast. I would love for this to be a New Japan podcast, but that's not what it is.
Breaks my heart every time.
But the scenario that I put forth would also be a good way for them to sort of ease their way into seeing if they advertise it on AEW, will people give a shit about what's happening in Japan and have it over there, whatever. We'll see if anything does happen. We'll cover it here for sure.
I think that they will, because I know a lot of AEW fans, obviously they got into it because of the dudes in the Elite.
Yeah.
Where did the Elite get big?
That's true.
New Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had their stuff in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's true.
But they also were huge in New Japan, especially Kenny.
Kenny
was huge. Cody was okay.
Yeah.
Say what you will about them, the Bucks in the tag division, they held it down there for a long time. Sure. So
depending on who you trust and what sort of write-ups you believe,
and that's the thing,
whether or not they were ever taken seriously by management and booking. But...
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know that there's like those weird videos that come out where Omega was like hurt that I don't know he didn't get more of like a
send off. Yeah.
And it was like, listen, you were leaving to start your own company.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you expect them to do? Yeah. Like, they're going to say, Tanahashi. Tanahashi's a god in Japan. Omega, you're great. And, sure. That's a god. That's a different level.
It's different.
So, either way, I'm super excited for this weekend.
Yeah, me too.
I get Wrestle Kingdom Night 1, Night 2, and then even Monday, I'm going to do New Year's Dash, which sets up everything.
I'm going to do Sleep.
You're going to do Sleep. I'm not. I don't sleep anyway, so this is only going to make me not want to sleep even more. Super excited. So many matches coming up. Not obviously going to talk about all of them, but just, those two matches I'm excited for. Jushin Thunder Liger's last...
Liger's retirement, yep.
Yeah, and... fuck it. He worked in NXT match against Tyler Breeze.
He did.
At the first TakeOver Brooklyn, so I'll talk about it. I love Liger. That's one of my dudes. That's one of your dudes.
Yeah, of course. Way back.
Yeah. So
I think everybody should know this, but the first match ever on a Monday Nitro.
Yeah, Liger-Pillman.
Liger-Pillman.
Yeah.
From the Mall of America.
Yeah, which it's just...
So that show was... opened.
AEW needs to do a Mall of America show.
Jushin Liger versus Brian Pillman opened that show.
That was 95.
And Hogan, Big Bubber, main evented that show.
Yeah, like think about that.
Big Bubber,
like that's insane.
Big Bubber, baby.
But either way, I'm like I love like the stuff we talk about. For sure, this is what we talk about. Yeah. But there is that niche for me where like that's where my heart lies with professional wrestling.
So, if you want, and I think we're done here, right? We're pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So a little out of order, but if you don't watch New Japan and you want to follow along with the goings-ons, you can follow Brett or I on Twitter. Because we're going to be tweeting about it.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Right?
I'm going to be up
all
fucking night, dude.
Use the official account.
No, but...
That's not what we cover.
No, but...
But, we're going to be tweeting about it.
I think you can hear the excitement in my voice. I'm super pumped.
This is what you would call a segue.
Yes.
And Brett, where can they find you on Twitter personally?
Oh, wow, I get to go first? Look at this shit.
Because you're going to tweet more about Wrestle Kingdom.
I probably am.
Because I'm going to sleep.
You're going to sleep, and I'm just going to be...
Except for the 10 Koji match.
That's going to be fucking great. They're going against Yuji Nagata and Nakanishi. Oh. So, you could find me at BrettXEdge570. If you want to, like, I don't know what I've been tweeting about. I'm just super stoked. Like, it's 2020, dude. I'm in a good mood. I'm just trying to start my year off right. Yeah. New Japan's going to help that. I fucking pray the Eagles help it too. Whatever, dude. They made the playoffs. I'm happy. It's fine. But yeah, it's going to be sick. And you can talk to me on there. See what Glassjaw song I'm listening to today. I don't know. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be tweeting about local hardcore bands. Shout out Choice to Make. Y'all are sick. Where can they find you?
Whoa. I will also be tweeting about New Japan this weekend, among other things. I'm going to try and stay awake like a big boy, but I'm going to fall asleep like a little baby. But you can find me at The Dooge on Twitter, TheDooge. For all your Terry Funk match recommendations and or promo recommendations, hit me up on there. I mean, there's plenty of other places. I think the Gorilla Monsoon channel on YouTube.
What the hell's the name of that?
He put up
that dude is awesome.
He put up a Terry Funk playlist the other day. like a best of on YouTube.
Oh my God! Hold on, keep talking.
Yeah. So, but you know, that's Terry Funk's my dude. So if you want any recommendations there, because as Brett said, he only watched Terry Funk or Jushin Thunder Liger matches.
Monsoon Classic.
Big
shout out to that dude.
Yes. So you know, New Year's, Brett was hanging out with my wife and I for New Year's. And after the ball dropped, we just sat here until 3 in the morning watching Terry Funk matches.
Oh, it was so great.
From like the mid 80s.
Dude, him
all
and
Japan.
Brody from 82. Yeah. Oh my God.
So, you know, just how great the matches were, and then trying to calculate Terry Funk's age and realizing that he's much older than he looked. Well, maybe not looked, but should have been in the 80s. But if you want to get an education on Terry Funk, come my way. New Japan stuff will also get tweeted as well as comic books and whatever else we're doing. Beyond us personally, normally it's a little out of order, but check out the show at Wednesday night. I just completely
Wednesday War Pod.
I completely botched that. Wednesday War Pod on Twitter.
My man.
Yeah, that's where we're at tonight. This is supposed to be a short show, and it ended up not being a short show because we're just ramble. But so soon to be named network at STBN Network on Twitter. Check out, there's a bunch of shows there. At Odds with Wrestling, Final Wrestling Place.
I want to give a special plug to our man David Kincannon.
Yeah,
did his episode, which I didn't know existed because I didn't really know that he had a show, and I apologize for that. But he has Podvocacy Productions. He did an episode this week with Tim from Final Wrestling Place about 2019 movies in review. You can find that at Podvocacy. That's PODVOCACY. He is the man who did the end bumper for our show.
Yeah.
Check it out. Awesome. He helps out everybody on soon to be named network. What's the Final Wrestling Place? They did was it top 10 Sting Nemesis?
Yes.
This week we had a fun little interaction on Twitter with them. Check all those dudes out. They're great guys.
Yep.
Love them.
Check out their shows. Plenty of wrestling podcasts to go around. Listen to our show first.
I mean,
beyond that, if you're listening, you know where you already found us. You can iTunes and Spotify and everywhere else that your podcasting needs may take you.
Where your little heart desires.
The Facebook, you can interact with us on any of these places. Email the show, Wednesday Night War Pod at Gmail. We will gladly answer any questions, concerns, topics you want brought up, so on and so forth. Other than that, we're done.
Yeah, we are.
This is the end of this particular show.
Yeah.
Next week we're back to head to head.
Yeah, we are.
So I can start numbering these episodes again.
A little bit more formal again starting next week.
So no ratings this week because I didn't see them come out. NXT didn't really have a good show. I had to have a real show anyway.
Yeah.
Next week we're back to normal, rocking and rolling. If we make it, because we're gonna be sleepy boys.
I don't sleep, dude.
You don't sleep.
I'm so excited.
That is true.
Well, hey, everybody, Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, Happy New Year 2020.
Thanks for riding with us. We appreciate y'all.
Again, we're very grateful. We said it last week. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but very grateful for everyone. 2020 is going to be a good year. I'm excited to see what everybody does and see what we come up with. We get a full year shot at this to not screw it up.
Yay, us.
Yay, us indeed.
All right, everybody. Thanks you. Appreciate you. Watch Wrestle Kingdom. Goodbye. Pro wrestling. Let's go.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
And like leading up to it, man, I'm like watching a lot of Liger shit, and I'm getting all like sad and shit because I'm like, man, like that's the first Nitro, like the first ever match on Nitro, and I'm getting real sad.